We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this morning on the Huddle, I have a question for you, community. Are you a content creator who wants to get better in learning how to do live stream? Are you wanting to grow and get better in your content creation? Well, this morning on the Huddle, we're going to be taking your questions here on the Huddle, live Q&A Huddle style, and we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, we welcome you to the show. And as we said this morning, we are going to be having a live Q&A, live stream discussion on how to get better at doing live streaming, how to get better and grow and having a live stream show. And so we're going to be taking your questions during the live stream. And so if you're just joining me in the chat of YouTube or LinkedIn, let me know where you're watching me from. Give me the hashtag of all hashtags, Team Live. And if you're just joining the replay, give us a hashtag Team Replay. And so this is our official first live Q&A. Never really done this. We're going to do something a little different this morning. And so we have some questions that we already have prepared. But during the live stream, if you have some live streaming questions on just how to get better as a live streamer, live streaming questions on how to just have a better live stream show, or questions on how to have great guests, put a Q in front of that question. And if you just have a comment on just what you've learned on how to become a better live streamer, make sure you put that C in front of it so that we can have an engaging conversation, not just with me and you, but with the community. And so without further ado, let's fire up the stream deck and get started with this live Q&A. And as we go through these first 7 questions, after these 7 questions, we're going to go ahead and answer your questions. So let me make sure I star these questions. I see questions already popping up. So let's star these questions. Okay, perfect. That's starred. Do I got any others? Okay, so as we get more questions, we will star them, and we will definitely get into these questions that we're going to talk about. All right, without further ado, let's get into this Q&A session on how to just get better as a live streamer and grow as a content creator, having a great live stream show. Question number one, and this is a question basically back to the basics, back to the fundamentals, but it's important to build a foundation in this Q&A session. And that first question is regarding platform. What platform should a person looking to start doing live streaming start on? Should you start on YouTube? Should you start on another platform like LinkedIn? Should you start on Facebook? What platform? Well, let me kind of take you back into my live streaming origin story. Well, I started doing live streaming on Facebook. I started doing live streaming on Facebook because I had more of a connection of friends that I was connected with. And so I felt that was a little easier for me as a starting point to start doing live streaming. It kind of taught me about engagement as people commented in my live streams, and being able to start on Facebook helped me in my journey of wanting to say, okay, I wanted to transition over to YouTube. And I want to say my transition probably took about maybe a year. when I transitioned over from Facebook over to YouTube, about a year, but it was my starting place. And so if you are a person who is new to live streaming and you are starting on YouTube, that's a great platform to start on. If you want something where you just really want to just hone your skills and you don't really want to kind of deal with the metrics of how many subscribers and how many watch hours that you should have before you can get monetized and things like that that come with being a part of, creating content on YouTube, then maybe doing another platform like Facebook as a starting point could be a great place to start at. Another great platform that I really believe from a live streaming standpoint could be good for a new beginner in doing live streaming is Instagram and doing Instagram live. Back in the days, they used to call it IGTV, and it didn't do as well from a live streaming standpoint. But Instagram Live, for the most part, it's still around, but it's more vertical content, and I think for a beginner, that's real good because it kind of teaches you how to create content, not just from a horizontal standpoint, if you're on Facebook and you're doing live streams, but it also teaches you how to do a live stream from a vertical content standpoint or creating content from a vertical perspective and doing reels and shorts. And so my advice to a beginner who's just first starting out on live streaming and you're trying to find the right platform and you're just experimenting, I would say either Instagram or Facebook. Those would be my beginner suggestions. Now, once you've now gotten your feet wet and you kind of have a sense of what type of content you believe you want to create and the type of audience you believe you want to try to reach out to, then I think YouTube becomes the natural progression and start to transition to. If you are an individual who understands the importance of replay value, if you are a person who understands the importance of getting your videos or your live streams ranked in search where they can easily be found by viewers from the replay, if you understand these things from the beginning going in, then YouTube is the platform to go. I would recommend that. But if you're a person who doesn't understand a lot of those things about how to be able to for people to find your videos, and if it's not important for you to have people go back and to find your videos who are outside of your connection, because with Facebook and Instagram, only people who you are connected with can see your content that you create live. But people on YouTube who are not connected with you, who are not subscribers, have the opportunity to find your content if they come across it. And so that's my answer to that first question from a foundation standpoint, because I've seen individuals, I know of individuals that started out on YouTube and they approached YouTube like another platform like Facebook, or they approached YouTube like Twitter. I think Twitter still does Twitter Live, haven't done it in a while, but they approach it, and then when their expectations are not tempered, it can become discouraging in not being able to talk to a live audience right away. And so it's important to kind of, find that right platform, experiment with that right platform, and then transition over. All right, let's get over to tip or question number 2. If you're a new live streamer who's just beginning and you don't have a lot of gear, what type of equipment should you need to start live streaming? Well, first, you need a USB microphone. if you're going to, we're talking desktop now. We're talking desktop. You need a good USB microphone. Most laptops have an audio mic built into it, but the quality of it is not going to be all that good for you. But if you have a USB microphone, an affordable, cost affordable USB microphone, you don't have to go get no fancy studio microphone costing you almost $1,000. Just, budget friendly microphone. I have an Audio Technica microphone, spent about $100 for it. And it's been working for me. I think this is my second version of it. Second version of my microphone. I've only really had 2 microphones in my live streaming journey. This is my second one. And for the most part, people have told me that the audio is good. And so if you have a good quality audio microphone, that's a good starting point. Then you need a decent webcam. A decent webcam like a Logitech C922, an Elgato face cam, or what's the other? Speedo widescreen webcam. All of these webcams are probably somewhere between the range of 60 to about $120. And so having a good, decent webcam is another good piece of equipment that you need to have. And then you have a good laptop that has some decent internet connection. And as long as you have a decent laptop that has good internet connection, you are ready to start doing a live stream. Emphasis on the laptop, because I just recently upgraded on my laptop, because the laptop prior to this was a 2010 Toshiba laptop. And as technology has been changing and the internet has been upgrading with the internet speeds and stuff, after a while, it became important that I saw that my internet connection and speed, the quality of my live streams were being affected because of the poor performance of the computer. So you want to have a decent computer. And if you have these 3 things, you are ready to do some live streaming. Before I go over to the next question, let's just jump over to the chat and see who do we have here this morning joining us in the chat. We have my dear sister, Florence Donald from Equip Institute, the live stream queen, productivity guru in the house. And then the live stream master moderator, Frank Jackson, in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Let's scroll down. I got my good man, Tech Troublemaker. Oh, man, that's a record. That's a record. I've did it for longest. He's a troublemaker. A very good troublemaker. All right, let's see who else we got in here. And then we have I believe a first-time visitor, Miss Donna Richardson. Hello, ma'am. I appreciate you being a part of the huddle this morning. I pray as we get into this content that I will do my very best to be able to add value. If you have any questions on this topic, on just how to be a better live streamer or just growing your content creation, please put a Q in front of your question. And it is my heart's desire that me and the community make this a memorable moment for you today. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. All right. Perfect. Everyone's greeting. All right. So that's our first 2 questions. We talked about platform. We talked about equipment. Let's go ahead further. And as we always say, to those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about live streaming, on how to get better in doing live stream shows and just having a better live stream quality experience for our audience and making it more engagement. So if you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat, especially if you are on LinkedIn. And if you're checking out the replay of this, we want you to make sure you give us a hashtag team replay. Click that thumbs up button. Let me tell you, just get real quick. That thumbs up button, once you hit that thumbs up button, is so important on the 2 platforms of YouTube and LinkedIn. It lets them know that this is some quality content that you are letting the platforms know that is very important. It's very important, and you're enjoying it, and you want someone else to enjoy. And also, you can hit the share button. By hitting the share button, those options of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, even to be able to email someone, you able to share it through the platforms that you are a part of. So definitely, when you get a moment during this live stream, do that for me. I would really appreciate it. All right, let's get into question 3. Again, get your questions in. Get your questions in. Make sure you put a Q in front of that question. We already got one in the one already stored there. We're going to go back. But question number 3, how do I promote my live stream to get more viewers? This is a great question. Great question, especially for us as beginners who are doing live streaming. And you do your very best to reach out to family and friends. You do your very best to reach out to coworkers. You do your very best to reach out to the newspaper guy who throws the newspaper at your door and bangs the door at 5 in the morning and say, hey, by the way, check out my live stream show at Tuesday night at 9 p.m. So you do your very best from a word of mouth standpoint. But what's some other ways can you promote your live stream? The first way, I believe, which can be very effective, is through being able to promote it on the social media platform that you are on the most and that you have knowledge of, that others may have a similar interest in what you're live streaming about. So being able to post a social media post just through a regular text social media, that's one way. If you are a person who has access to graphics like CANVA, which CANVA does have a free version to allow you to be able to start looking at social media posts for, let's say, Facebook, for example, or Instagram, and you can kind of put something together and to promote your live stream. That's another way. If you really want to get into real designing of the live stream, maybe you upgrade to Canva Pro, which gives you some features like taking a picture, a real good quality picture that you've taken, that you did a photo shoot, and now you want to get the background removed from that photo, and now creating a social media post. Well, that's a paid version feature. But if that's something you really feel that you need to be effective in promoting your live stream, you can go that route. If you want to add some music and being able to that social media post, again, taking that paid version, adding some music, adding some text and effects is a great way through social media to promote your live stream. Another way of promoting your live stream is through emails. If you have a collection of emails of friends and families and just people that you've connected with, that you feel that would really get some value in being a part of your live stream before you go live. You're doing this before you hit the button to go live. You want to use your email list. And then finally, maybe you are part of a Facebook group. Maybe you are part of a mastermind class. Is a third way you can be able to promote your live stream. Once you publish your live stream and it's scheduled to go live, again, the share button on every YouTube video gives me and you the ability, as a live stream host, the ability to then share that to the social media platforms that we feel is most relevant to our content. I wouldn't say to start sharing it to every social media platform you're connected to, because maybe not all social media platforms could be relevant to what you're doing. Like, I have a Twitter account. We have the Huddle with Walter Strong the third Twitter account, but I'm not on it. I'm not on it that much. And I've in seeing where Twitter is today, I just didn't really feel it was relevant in part of my social media content strategy. So I'm not on it, but I'm on things like LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, and I'm also using the YouTube community tab. It's various ways of promoting content that I'm sharing to new potential subscribers and existing subscribers that I have. And so these are some great ways to let me go over here. Wait, this is okay. I got that start. These are some great ways to be able to promote your live stream. So let me give you an example. I kind of worked on this last night in preparation to this live stream Q&A on how do you answering the question, how do you promote your live stream? So here's a social media post that I kind of put together through Canva, and just something basic. Got the paid feature of the background removal, removing a favorite picture background and putting some social media text to it so that it can go to things like Instagram, LinkedIn, and to the YouTube community tab. So take a look at this and give me your thoughts on it. See, something very simple. I got my theme music for the Huddle live stream show, kind of letting viewers know what's upcoming. This is going to be a Q&A. So if you're a person who really wants to really learn how to better live stream, it's encouraging the viewer to say, hey, bring your questions, add some text about what the Huddle live stream show is about, who I am as a host, and bam, there you go. You have something simple there. And so doing something like that can be easy in being able to promote your live stream shows. Now, as I said, the background removal part, it's a paid version. It's not a part of the Canva's free version, but we do have an affiliate link in the description section. So if you want to be able to take advantage of any benefits that Canva offers through that affiliate link, definitely take a look at that. We do get a benefit from it too as well, so we want to give a disclosure to that. All right. So promoting your live stream, that's question 3. What I do? Oh, went back the wrong way. So it's question 3. Question 4 says, how do I interact with viewers during a live stream? Another great question, especially if you are a beginner. You are a beginner to live streaming, and you're starting to see people come into your live stream. You're starting to see that number tick come up, and people are saying hello and checking your live stream show out, and you're like, how can I better interact and engage with them so that they, number one, can really get value out of it. 2, I can be able to provide content that's relevant to them. And then 3, encourage them to come back. And then 4, it also adds value to the replay viewer. You want the replay viewer to also engage in the comment section. They're not live, but they're replay. Well, what's some of the ways? Well, what I found helpful in my journey in live streaming, in engaging and interacting, is number 1, taking advantage of the feature that StreamYard has here and being able to pull up comments. So we see some conversation going on. We see Florence greeting Donna, and then Donna greeting back Florence. So being able to pull up comments is a great way to make viewers feel that they can be a part of the stream. And so, for example, we want to welcome our good friend, make sure I say this correctly now, Credence, and Mikey. Credence and Mikey, welcome to the Huddle here and being a part of the Huddle community. This is our first time greeting you, so I pray as we are sharing this content on just how to grow as live streamers and any questions that you may have, put a Q in front of that question or C in front of the comment. And so that's a great way. Make sure I start this and we'll hide that. That's a great way of interacting. Another great way of getting interaction from your viewers is encouraging them to participate in the chat. So one of the things that we ask all our viewers here, Credence and Mikey and Donna, is that if you're truly getting value out of what we're sharing with you this morning, and it lets me know by you communicating this, but you giving us a hashtag Team Live, hashtag Team Live. And by you putting that into the chat, and you have the ability to do so. Now, if you're driving and you got your hands on the wheel, I don't want to see a hashtag team live. If you are cutting someone's hair and you are listening to the live stream, but you just kind of popped your name in there, I don't want you putting the hashtag team live because I don't want you to mess up nobody's hair. But if you got your hands free and you're engaging in the live stream, give us a hashtag team live. And that's a great way of encouraging engagement. And then finally, another way of engagement is we talked about with questions. So I think I saw a question here. So let's pull Donna's question up. When we talk about engagement, Walter, are you seeing an increase in traffic from LinkedIn, or having people reach out from that platform? Yes, Donna, I am starting to see some increase from it. I am starting to see some increase, and part of the reason why I'm seeing that, Donna, is I'm starting to be more consistent with it. I initially started out live streaming earlier a few months ago on LinkedIn, and at first I just wasn't seeing anything in terms of interaction from viewers, and I was primarily live streaming on Saturday only. But when I switched over to Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. and doing this at 11 a.m., I've recently started to see some increase of people starting to trickle in just to say hi or to ask a question or to give a comment. And I believe Wednesday seems to be a good date for me on the midweek huddle. So I'm doing LinkedIn now on Wednesdays, and I'm doing LinkedIn on Saturday. And so the lesson has taught me, Donna, is to be consistent on both days. That was the other thing. I wasn't being consistent on both days. I was doing it on Wednesday, but wasn't doing it on Saturday. So it's about consistency. And so in anything that we do, if we start to be more consistent at it, the end result that we're looking for, if it's a platform that we're trying to connect with the audience with, we'll start to see some results. So I pray I did a good job there in answering that question to your satisfaction. Great question. And so these are just a few ways of getting engagement and interaction on your live stream. Now, this is not a question that I prepped for, but it just popped in my head. Well, what happens, Walter, if you start to get a whole lot of engagement within your chat and it's the wrong type of engagement? Now, what do I mean by wrong type? Well, you may have someone come and may say some inappropriate things within your chat. How do you handle that? Now, this wasn't a question that I prepped for, but it just kind of popped in my head. Well, having the ability to, within StreamYard, it gives me the ability to kind of basically put that person in timeout or remove them from the stream is a way. If I don't have one, but we're definitely looking at the possibilities of getting a live stream moderator. And if you have a live stream moderator and they can kind of be your eyes and your hands for you while you're engaging in the live stream show, having a live stream moderator is a great way of kind of identifying that individual and kind of removing them from the community. And the reason why I'm kind of for that, if the person is going to definitely say something that's just completely foul or inappropriate, you don't want them to you don't want that individual poisoning your community, especially when you're a new live streamer and you have people engaging with one another. You'll find, Donna, you'll find Credence and Mikey, Mikey, that this community is very interactive with one another. We look out for one another. So you saw as you join, you were immediately greeted, not just by me, but by our community. And so that's important. So if you are a live streamer, having a great live stream moderator who's on one accord with you is a great way of dealing with situations like that. because I remember I had a situation where someone was just kind of typing letters in the chat, and they would go one letter after another letter after another letter. And then when my live stream ended, I didn't really pick up on what they were doing until after the live stream ended. And then what I saw what they typed was a racial slur. And I said, oh, that's what you were doing. Had I would have had a live stream moderator, that moderator would have kind of saw that and they would have dealt with that right away. So that's a bonus question. But great question, Donna. Great question. Let's go ahead and move over to question number 5. How do I handle technical difficulties during a live stream? Another great question. If you have been doing live streaming, give me a hashtag me when it comes to experiencing technical difficulties during the live stream. You've either had a technical difficulty with your mic not working, you've had a technical difficulty with your camera not working, you've had a technical difficulty with your computer shutting down in the middle of the live stream. Give me a hashtag me in the chat. If you are on LinkedIn, give me a hashtag me in the chat. If you are listening to the replay up to this point, give us a hashtag me in the chat. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. I see another great question. So let's star that question right there. So how do you deal with it? In the beginning, I was just kind of winging this thing about live streaming and experiencing technical issues as they came. But as I started to do this more and more, I began to develop a pattern, a flow of how I was putting together my live streams from the beginning, the Genesis beginning, to coming up with my content idea, my topic, my bullet points, to working on my thumbnails, to scheduling it in StreamYard, because I'm using StreamYard as a platform to do my live streams. This is not sponsored by StreamYard. But as I was doing this, it became clear to me that I needed to put together a live stream checklist. So that way I could put step by step together and then go to that checklist to say, okay, before I go live, did I do this? Perfect. Before we go live, did I check my lighting? So one of the things, because I have a patio behind me here, I have lighting, the sunlight. As much as I want to have a window in front of me, all my light comes from me the back way. So I have to close my blinds, and then I have to put up studio lights and other lamps for my lighting. So my lighting is important, so that way I'm not looking like a complete blur of in front of all this light. So my lighting, checking my audio, making sure my audio is good, making sure my camera is working good. But also what my checklist taught me was make sure that my power cord is plugged up into my laptop. I had an experience where I brought a guest on, and at some point, thinking I was plugging in my USB mic, I was having some issues with the mic prior to this mic I have now, and I was trying to plug it in my older laptop, and it just seemed like it wasn't working properly. And when I went to go take it out, I didn't realize I unplugged my power cord. So I plugged the USB back mic in. Long story short, I get midstream into the live stream with interviewing the guests. And we're talking about how to overcome obstacles and fears being on camera. And guess what? The obstacle hit. I went completely dark. The guest was on by herself. She waited for a while. She didn't see that I came back. She jumped off. I struggled and struggled, finally got on. There were a couple of people left waiting for me, which I was truly appreciative. And I was just so distraught and just so disappointed that this happened to me. And they were encouraging me. But the lesson was, had I would have had a live stream checklist and going down that live stream checklist, it would have helped me to deal with technical difficulties. And then even if you have a checklist and then you have an issue, it's about how you respond to the issue, responding the right way, the proper way. Um, and for example, I had a situation where I went through the checklist and it was time to go live, but my camera, for whatever reason, was not responding. So I have a backup webcam. So I had to go to that backup webcam, plug that up. Ultimately, I found out a lot of the technical issues that was coming at that time, from the microphone to the webcam, was because of the laptop. But ultimately, being able to have a checklist to be able to kind of identify problems beforehand, and then two, being able to respond the right way in the right moment to deal with them, is a great way of being able to handle live stream checklists. So I wanted to see if I had some hashtag me's, but I definitely have some questions here. So let me pause, because again, we don't want to miss no one's questions. So let's just do this right quick. Okay, Donna, you have a quote here, so let's just pivot. Let's pivot. Donna says this is quite a bit, so let's do our best. Walter, Roy, we hold on. Let's get closer to the monitor here. Roy and I are on the way to Atlanta. Ah, wait a minute. Is this who I think this is? Ma'am, I for not properly greeting you. Is this the one, the only Mrs. Tech Troublemaker? Good evening, ma'am. This is the first time me meeting you on my live streams. So you both are on your way to Atlanta and you're driving, okay? But my signal is starting to drop in the okay, perfect. In these backwoods, we will catch the replay. Great show. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tech Troublemaker. I hope you don't mind me calling you that, Mrs. Richardson. I don't want to burn my experience and call you by. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for you and Roy. You have a safe travel. Have a safe travel. Oh wow, that's great. You both made my day. You made my day. Credence and Mikey says me, hashtag me, bruh. I thank you so much to let me know that I'm not the only one in these content streets by himself. Yes, definitely had those technical issues, and it's about how you respond. Because when I had that issue when the computer crashed on me, because me not realizing that the power cord was unplugged, I was just fighting so hard and for the computer to. That was the other thing. The computer was, this was a 10-year computer. So when it reboots, it took a minute. It took about a good 10 to 15 minutes for it to reboot. And then to find people there still in the stream was encouraging. It was just encouraging. It was definitely encouraging. So thanks for letting me know I'm not the only one. Okay, here we go. We got to greet some other more individuals. What's up, sir? Glad to see you here on these content streets of the Huddle community. Good morning, Mr. Courtney Harden, the real deal with Courtney Harden, live stream host, talking about sports, entertainment, and all great things. Thank you, sir, for joining us. If you have a question, make sure you get a Q in front of that question, so that way we can do our very best to pull up that question. So we're at question 5. Let's get through 2 more questions that we had pre-uploaded, and then we need to get to your questions. That's what this is about. You came to the Huddle for this live stream Q&A. So let me keep my word. Go back to 4. Let's go to 5, and let's get to. You know the deal. You know the drill. Hit that like button. Share this on your favorite social media platform. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. We are committed. The value statement, the value proposition for us here at the Huddle is to help you broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video and your content creation journey. So if that's a value proposition that sounds good to you, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get through these next to questions, and then we need to get in the chat. We need your questions. All right. How do I repurpose my live stream content? Great question. Great question. Some examples in repurposing your content is taking long form content. Let's just take Courtney for a minute. He does a lot of live stream shows where he's interviewing guests. And let's say the finals is coming up. The NBA finals, provided Boston doesn't decide to take this to game 7. But let's say Miami takes care of business tonight. Well, it's time for an NBA finals preview. So Courtney may decide to bring on some individuals to talk about the NBA finals preview. And after he's done with that live stream, he can then begin to break that content up into shorter bits of micro content for either short form videos. He can break that up into shorts or reels. He can take the audio from that live stream into a podcast. And if he is a person who's into blogging or to written form content, to blogs or newsletters. So these are just a few ways you can repurpose your content. Now, if you want to get more information on how to better repurpose your content, check out our recent live stream show that we did, which I believe was a Saturday ago, 1 or 2 Saturdays ago. Check out on the channel on how to better effectively repurpose your content. Let's get to question number 7. Question number 7. How do I choose the right time to live stream? Another great question, especially if you are a beginner. What I've come of the opinion for any new live streamer that you have to look at what time that works best for you when you're starting out, because if you have a family, if you have a career, and family, wife, children, you are involved in some type of community outreach or church ministries, you gotta manage these things. And so adding content creation to the plate, and you want to do a live stream show, you want to be able to pick the time that's best for you. So for me, when I decided to do live streaming on Wednesdays, I had to say, okay, 6:30 is the best time for me. I realized that this live stream that I'm going to do is probably not going to be no more than 30 to 45 minutes because I have another commitment after that. And so I needed to take 6:30 on a Wednesday. I didn't really see a whole lot of individuals doing a lot of live streaming during that time on YouTube that I'm involved with and I'm connected, because I am mindful of my community. I'm mindful of individuals like Tech and Florence. I'm mindful of individuals like Courtney. And yes, 2, 4, and 7, 9 and 11 all can report the news at the same time at 11 p.m. at night, but I try to be respectful of other individuals. Now, that's just me. But I wasn't seeing anybody doing any live streaming that I know of in my community that I'm connected with. So I went with 6:30, and that was the best time for me. And by being consistent with that, viewers are starting to come in from LinkedIn, as I was sharing with Donna, and just being consistent. And so I would encourage you, pick the time that's best for you if you're a new beginner or looking to find a second day of doing your live streams. Now, if you're someone that's more experienced and you are trying to find a better time to live stream, one way is maybe polling your audience through the community tab of YouTube. Polling your audience, getting some feedback from your audience, not just someone who's subscribed, but active people who are a part of your audience and your community, and kind of base that information from that poll in your decision for your decision on the best time to go live. And whatever day you decide to pick, whether morning, noon, or close to at night, be consistent with it and you're good. So in summary, and then we're going to get into these questions. We talked about questions regarding the right platform, the right type of equipment, how to promote your live streams, how to be engaging on your live streams, which hopefully we did a good job today in engagement. We talked about difficulties, we talked about repurposing, and then finally we've talked about the right time. to do your live streams. So those were 7 questions that we had prepared to part of this live stream. So with that said, let's get into your questions. So I got to scroll back. And so what this live stream Q&A has taught me, Credence and Mikey, it definitely, if we're going to do more of these, we're going to have to get a live stream moderator. We're going to have a live stream moderator. So let's find that first question. We start, which Florence asked. Florence asked, okay, when do you adjust your live streaming process? When do you adjust your live streaming process? When you ask this question, if you can provide me some clarity regarding process, are you talking about the process in terms of your preparation before you go live, when it's time to go live, or when you end the broadcast? At what part of those 3 stages do you feel needs to be adjusted? I'm just going to take a stab as I wait for your follow-up question. I'm going to take a stab at the time. Now you're in the process of going live. You're going live and you're looking to adjust the process. One of the gauges that I'm trying to pay attention to is, again, the community and the viewers and the audience. They're all wrapped into one. I try to use that as my gauge, and I made the adjustment in the wins of the week. So if you notice, the last couple of weeks, we don't do win of the week on the live streams anymore, because the wins of the week that I was seeing coming in, they were kind of getting off topic of the content. And so if a new person like Donna or Credence and Mikey came in, those wins of the week, they would see that, and then they would see the topic and they say, how does this connect? Everyone in the chat, and it seems like the host, they're all kind of all over the place. So we decided to put the wins of the week in the community tab of YouTube. And so individuals like yourself, Florence, Tech, Lewis Rollins, people are starting to now engage in the community tab, and it's a way of me and you to engage back. So the adjustment process for me was, let's take that part out and let's start putting in more of a segment that asks more probing or open-ended questions to the viewers that gets them more engaged. So for me, that was an adjustment in my process and when I go live. So I'll wait for your follow-up question or comment, but hopefully I did a great job with that. As we scroll down, hey, if you're getting great value out of this live stream discussion, do me a favor, give me a hashtag Team Live on LinkedIn or YouTube. And if you're watching the replay of this live stream Q&A on how to be a better live streaming and just create great content in your content creation journey, give us a hashtag team replay. So the live stream moderator has said here, if you have, definitely. And see that. Thank you, Frank. See, when you're a live stream moderator at heart, it just flows with you. Just thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. We're just scrolling down. I don't want to miss anyone's questions. Definitely. Okay. I think I answered this question. Yeah, I answered that question for Donna earlier. Okay. Scrolling down. Okay, here we go. Did I do this one? Let's see what this one is. Florence with another follow-up question. What impact does being consistent have on building a community? Great question. What impact? Well, for me, the impact for me that I have seen in me being consistent is that it shows individuals who are watching my live streams for the first time or for a few times, as they start to watch more and more, they start to see that I'm not just consistent in my frequency of going live every Saturday and now going live every Wednesday, unless something comes up on a Wednesday. Not just from a frequency standpoint, but the impact that I've seen, and it helps in building community, being consistent in my message, that I'm sharing in my live streams. And it is my hope and my desire, that's one of my content pillars, that me being consistent, not just in frequency and message, then encourages new viewers who are just kind of watching to the side, and they're kind of watching the rest of us in the community. It begins to draw more new people in. And so the impact that I'm seeing being consistent over time, it brings new people in who's been there the whole time, but they just didn't make themselves known. That's the impact that I'm seeing. And when I have not been consistent, it can cause confusion. The negative impact is it can cause confusion to my community. So let's take, for example, if I am live streaming every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock for a couple of Saturdays, and then I stop, and then I go from 9 to 10, and I start and I stop, and then I go from Sunday and I start doing that for a while, or then I go from YouTube to LinkedIn and to Facebook, and I'm kind of all over the place, and I keep stopping and starting, stopping and starting. The negative impact is I'm confusing my viewers. I'm confusing my viewers, and I'm confusing even prospective new viewers who may have been checking me out, checking the show out. But as much as I encourage, hey, look, engage in the chat by giving us a hashtag Team Live or Team Replay, it says to that prospective viewer who I call the online listener or online looker, which is kind of looking at a distance, the negative impact is it causes confusion. And so those are just two ways that you can impact someone, regular, positive or negative. This was definitely a big question. Good question. Good question. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. Again, if you have a Q, if you have a question, put a Q in front of the question. If you have a comment, put a C in front of the comment. Okay. Boom. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay. One says, before you go live, when do you change the show structure and production of in elements? So that's, you're talking about the before part. When do you make that adjustment? I'm trying to kind of think in terms of before I go live. What, and this I haven't really had to make any really major adjustments before going live as of yet, and I'm quite sure I will. But the one area that I would say right after when I went to live that I had to make an adjustment was my intro music. And I was interviewing a young lady named Cher Jones, and we were talking about personal branding, and she had a background in television and entertainment and broadcasting. And she said two important things to me that really stuck out to me in doing live stream show interviews. She said, number one, instead of you going live with the guest already on with you, have the guest in the waiting room. Don't have the guests come on with you when you go live. Have the guests brought on after you do your short bio and introduction and you go through your regular format, so that you're building an expectation for your viewers and your audience to meet your guests, and there's an anticipation that they feel that they can get some. So that was a big adjustment for me. And then number two, she said, your live stream music, it's too long. I think my live stream music song that I have, it's anywhere between 2 to 2.5 minutes long. So I was playing like maybe a half minute into that song, and she was like, from a viewer duration standpoint, she says you'll lose half of your audience that's waiting because they don't want to, they've seen you do this over and over. They may not want to stay, so you'll lose into it. So she says technically your your intro shouldn't be no more than like 4 or 5 seconds. I was like, no, but I like the song. I said, can I get it to 10? She says, fine, keep it at 10, nothing longer. So that's where I've had to kind of make adjustments in my live stream process and things like that. And I'm still making adjustments, whether before, when I go live, or even when I end the broadcast. So great question. Great question. Want to say good morning to my good friend, Mr. Brother Rollins in the house. Hashtag Team Live in the house. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this live stream Q&A on how to just be a better live streamer and create great content, please give me a hashtag as Brother Rollins has did. Hashtag Team Live. If you have a question, put a Q in front of the question, a comment, C in front of the comment. Click that like button for me. Click that like button if you're on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and if you haven't subscribed and you're getting great value out of this, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. All right. So I don't see any other questions. Let's just take one more scroll. And as I'm scrolling, let me know in the chat, has this been of great value to you? Has this been of great value to you, this Q&A? Do you feel like you've gotten your questions answered? And if I missed the question, I got the live stream moderator in the house. I got Florence, who's moderator number 2 in the house. If I've missed a question, pop that question in now. They will make sure Florence will even text me or call me and say, Walter, you got a question in the chat. Let me know. Okay. And we want to add, let me know if this has been of great value to you. Please let me know if this has been of great value, because what we're looking to do every fourth Saturday, so to kind of build your anticipation, every fourth Saturday in the month is going to be Q&A Saturday. So we're going to be taking the topic of live streaming. This was kind of the basic fundamentals of live streaming, but we're going to get more in depth. We're going to get more advanced. Like we talked about the process before you go. Maybe we'll do a Q&A section on we'll do the live stream checklist. Possibly that could be a possible Q&A. We'll talk about the before process. We'll talk about right when you get ready to go live, and then you're live, then ending the broadcast. And so 4 Saturdays is going to be Q&A session here on the Huddle. And then second Saturdays is where we bring on a guest to come on and to share with the community their expertise and their value. And then the first and the third and the fourth, it's me and you, the community. And we're also on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for about 30 to 45 minutes. And so, again, me, you, and the community are on. So if I take based on the response that I see, that this is, I didn't see any no. So this has been good. This has been good. I appreciate those of you who have been checking in. And so before we end this live stream Q&A, while we're waiting to see if there's any more questions, let's pop this back up. We got some additional information we want to share with you. Pop this here. Let's put this here. And we did the question part. Let's just kind of enlarge this here. Let's enlarge this here. Get my Stream Deck working properly. I don't need to see my face, but if you are looking to want to connect with this community, the Huddle community, and connect with me as a content creator, there are the links right there. You can connect with me on YouTube. You can connect with me on my website, walterstromthird.com, and connect with me there. If you're interested in doing collaborations, if you're interested in bringing me on as a guest to your live stream show, you can be able to find me at Walter Strong III, and we can have a conversation. And right now, we do have a Buy Me a Coffee where you can add some donations. We are still working on the Buy Me a Coffee to get it to the membership level, but we're taking baby steps. But these are just 3 of the ways you can connect with me. And then keep going backwards. Let's go forward. Live stream checklist. We touched on it. If you need help and your process before you go live, while you're live, before you go live, when you go live, during the live stream, or even ending the live stream, check out and get a copy of our live stream checklist, which will help you step by step, so that way you don't have one of those situations that me and Credence, Mikey, and myself had when the laptop crashes on you and you're like, oh no, what do I do? And how do I, what's the backup? Do you go live on your phone? Do you have a stream software? Get the live stream checklist. Link is in the description. It will take you to Walter Strong III, the Huddle, / the Huddle, and then you scroll down. You'll have our email marketing list, mailing list, and then you join that list. You'll get a free copy of the Huddle checklist. So this has been good. And from what I'm seeing here, responses. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Perfect. Definitely. Okay. So we got something here. Every fourth Saturday at 11 a.m. live stream Q&A questions, and we'll take, I think next time instead of 7, we'll just go down to 5 loaded questions, and then that gives me more time to get to your questions. Hopefully we did a great job in answering each and every question. Those of you on LinkedIn, if you have any questions after we end the broadcast, please leave them in the comment section. And in the comment section of Team Replay, if you have questions, leave them in the comment section. We'll do our best to answer those questions and get back to them, and make sure we add value. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of the first inaugural live stream Q&A session here on the Huddle. Thanks for, without you, this would not have been a success. We couldn't have did this without you guys. I just seen another comment pop up. Let me just jump back over here. See, being good. Let's start this question. Okay. What can the community send? Where can the community send questions before the stream? Great question. You can send your questions 2 ways. And 2 ways, but exclusively on these 2 platforms. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can send your follow-up questions that you may think of later under the comments section. If you go to the replay video of this live stream, just type in your comments and put a Q in front of the question, and I will respond that way. Another way, not another way. That way, not only myself, but someone from the community also can answer that question as well. Let's get a conversation, a dialogue going. Another way that you can submit a question is under the community tab. And so I will post some more information. Right now, I think we have the win of the week on the community tab. But if you want to post it under the win of the week post, we'll respond to that question as well. If you are on LinkedIn, watching us, listening to us, under the comment section of LinkedIn, and we will respond as well. So great question from Florence there for all of us in the community. So yeah, let's keep the conversation going here. We want to help each and every one of you become more proficient at live streaming, more confident in doing live streaming shows. And we just want to play our part here on the Huddle. So we have said everything that needs to be said, except these 2 things. When this live stream ends, YouTube, once I put that end screen up, will allow you, when you're checking out the replay of this, it will suggest another video for you to watch. So that video, in most cases, is going to be a previous live stream. So definitely follow the series on content creation for beginners. So that'll be there. So you want to check that out. And then finally, we want to close by encouraging you, those of you who have stayed up to this point and listened on YouTube or LinkedIn. You may be feeling broken today in your life. You may be feeling broken emotionally. You may be feeling broken in relationships. You may even be feeling broken in your ability to create content. Life has just thrown you a serious curve where you feel broken just like a crayon. But let me tell you a principle and the truth about a crayon, a broken crayon. A broken crayon in the hand of a little child, whosoever humble, can still color and create great masterpieces. Not new crayons in a brand new box that's never been opened. I'm talking about a broken crayon that's gone through some things, that's had the paper torn, that's been thrown in a basket, that's been thrown in a bag of other broken crayons. In the hand of a humble child can still create a great masterpiece. Your best days as a content creator is still ahead. You have some great masterpieces to create online video through live streaming, through short form or shorts. Be encouraged and be humble like a little child and create your greatest masterpiece to come. God bless.